Hello everyone, welcome back to Ambition House. Today we're going to be filming the answer to a very commonly asked question from our customers, which is, what is the difference between a cappuccino and a latte? Of course, this is subjective. You can make your coffee however you like, but this is what works for us. This is how we do it on our Fueling Ambition certification. So this is our brand, this is how we do it. We're just gonna show you, but I mean, it's not rocket science. So we're gonna start with an espresso. It's the same for a latte and a cappuccino. We put 2 shots in both. So 16 grams of coffee with a 2-ounce yield. So it's the same strength coffee in both, so the same amount of coffee. It's the milk what makes them different. The coffee we're using today is our Machimba Classic from our farm in Kenya. Another beautiful Kenyan coffee. So we're gonna get that in. Now we're gonna go in with the milk. So for a latte, you wanna fill your jug to the bottom of the spout. So this is about 10 ounces of milk in here. This should fill our cup nicely. This is a 12-ounce cup and we've got 2 ounces of coffee in it, so that should be perfect.
Quick math.
For lattes, we want to hear for that kissing noise. We want to count to about up to 5 seconds, but use your best judgment. You want your milk to rise a couple of centimeters. Tilt your jug 45-degree angle. Keep it spinning. That does all the texturing for you. So we're going to go in and steam it. So remember your purges, guys. So you want to get rid of all that condensation and any old milk that could be building up in there. You don't want anybody drinking it because that's really, really gross. Hygiene first. So we're going to go in, jug at a 45-degree tilt. The end of the steamer is just under the surface. So we're going to pop it under. You don't want to touch the side of the jug or anything. You don't want to touch the bottom. Just keep it nice and steady. Otherwise you won't get a nice consistent texture, temperature, and all the good things that we want. You also don't want your steam arm like right up here because your steam arm needs to be pointing downwards so your air goes into the milk instead of just skimming across the surface and getting bubbles. What are bubbles, Henry?
Bubbles are bad.
Bubbles are bad. So we're going to go all the way on, full pressure. That's the noise you want. And I'm going to raise my jug about 1 centimetre and we're going to keep it spinning. Use the palm of your hand on the bottom of the jug. And when it's too hot to hold, sand it off. So, pop your milk down to rest. Any air that's in there will rise to the surface while you're cleaning your steam arm. No excuses for wiping this. I don't want to hear that we're too busy bollocks. Keep it clean. No crusty milk up in here. Okay. So it's nice and shiny, it's not risen too much. There is no bubbles. But again, if you do have bubbles, give it a little tap. Okay, keep it swirling right up until you pour. So the pour for a latte is a little more complicated than a cappuccino. You want to tilt your cup about 45 degrees. It's all about the angles, isn't it? All about the angles. As you can notice, I have not stopped swirling the milk. If you leave it to sit, your foam texture will split and rise to the surface and you won't be able to pour anything beautiful at all. So in a latte, we like to sign it off as baristas with our favourite latte art. It's better to nail a really simple design than to mess up a complicated swan or phoenix or anything crazy like that. All right, so we're going to go in. We're going to start higher, pouring from the spout. And as your cup starts to fill, you want to get low. So the latte tastes much more mellow than a cappuccino would. This is because there is far more milk. So we've only got about a little finger. I mean, if you've got fat fingers, a little finger of like that creamy microfoam on top. So it's got a really nice like textured mouthfeel to it, with a little bit of latte art on top, if you can, of course, makes it look very beautiful. So today I've gone for a little tulip. If your barista pours you a love heart, it means they fancy you. Once you get really good, you can even pour like your mobile number in the top, and then you got yourself a date. We're not going to pour in the same volume of milk into our jug this time, because for a cappuccino, you want to aim to double the volume of milk that you start with. So we're going to go for about 7 ounces this time. When you get really good at controlling it, you can drop that down to halfway to the spout, but it is quite hard to texture it when you're just starting off. So just go a couple of centimetres under. Milk back in the fridge. Keep it nice and cold. Texture's best from cold up until body temperature. Okay, so remember your purge before. Every time without fail, no excuses. So for a cappuccino, we want the same angle. We want to listen out for the same noise. We still don't want any bubbles.
Bubbles are bad, they're full of air. No one wants to drink air, it doesn't taste of anything.
Okay, we're going to go all the way on. And that kissing noise, we're essentially going to keep it going, which means really slow, small movements, bringing that jug down the steam arm to keep the end of the steamer at the same point of the surface to add in that texture. So I'll show you what I mean. So for a latte, I would have already raised it. Bear in mind it heats up much faster. Very fast. Ignore your milk until you've cleaned your steamer. And purged it again. So I'm going to tap it and I'm going to spin it. The texture that we want to look for is like melted marshmallow. Sticks to the jug's side a whole lot better than latte milk does. So that's a lot more silky and thin, whereas this is a lot thicker. Why do we polish it? So we're mixing all of that texture in with the milk. So we want it one consistency throughout. If you leave it to settle or if you don't mix it enough, it splits and you get this horrible, like your foam stays at the back of the jug and then you just get milk and it's a mess. Keep it going till you're ready. 3 hours later. If you can pat your head and rub your belly, you can do this. So we don't want to circle our espresso really, really fast. We don't want to do the same action that we do with our milk jug because you lose those aromas that you want to keep in there. So if you circle it and get that beautiful crema up around the edges, that helps with your end visual of a cappuccino, which resembles the monk's head, the capuchin monks. So you want that nice brown ring around the top. Typically people find cappuccino pours easier. So we still tilt the cup, but instead of pouring from the spout, we're going to pour from the side of the jug. This is because the spout helps to hold back foam in the jug, and we want the cappuccino to be foamier than the latte. So we're going to go in with a pour. You want to keep it low, aim a third of the way into the crema, and it's just one steady pour, and straight in your cup as you go. So the ring of crema around the top is so that when you take a sip, you taste coffee and milk at the same time. Cappuccino, it has the illusion that it's stronger, even though we've used the same amount of coffee. Because you've got less milk in there, it's less diluted. So the coffee to milk ratio is much stronger. And obviously you've got that really thick texture on top. Okay, so here's the latte and the cappuccino next to each other. You can't see how much foam is on each of them, so we are going to do a spoon test. So some of the people that I have trained will know what I mean when I say the spoon test, and it causes some anxieties, but don't worry, I trust myself. It's gonna work. We got it. So, for a cappuccino, your spoon should rest on top without sinking. So we're just gonna really gently lay that on. And of course, Chloe Harvey. Okay, I'm gonna do the same test on the latte, but it should sink because you've got less foam. So there's more liquid under there. The liquid's closer to the surface. It should sink. Otherwise I've made a bad latte. It's a moment of truth. It'll get there, it'll get there. It'll get there. There we go.
Oh, quite slow.
But when you pull this foam back from the latte. So there it is, guys. That is how we differentiate our latte and cappuccino. If you think you know any better and you've got a better way of doing it, do let us know in the comments. We read every single one. Also, if you would like a tutorial on each drink, going more in depth and going in depth into making espressos, we are happy to do that too. We've got loads of new merch. Loads of people bought it last time. Actually, only my mum did. Thanks, Mum. This is my jumper. It says coffee because you can sleep when you're dead. So if you like this video, give it a like. If you want, don't have to. Subscribe if you want. We don't really mind. You can download it, put it on that tickety tock. We've been here so long that the sun has come out and gone back in again. But it's a beautiful day to fuck off home on my yacht. Make coffee, not war.